Welcome back. Now with a look at your 5-day weather forecast, here's Natasha Farron.
Unfortunately, the rest of the day won't feel too pleasant as temperatures drop, but the sky is clearing up late this evening, so we can expect a fair start into Friday. Let's have a look at our 5-day forecast. If you're heading out tonight, you may want to carry a light jacket as temperatures drop overnight to a low of 5. On Friday, expect sunny periods with a high of 13 and a low of 4. And it's shaping up to be a beautiful weekend as the sun continues to shine into Saturday. Expect a high of 14 and a low of 7. Sunday's looking fair, partly cloudy with a high of 15 and a low of 5. Although clouds will begin to roll back in for back to school on Monday, temperatures in the day will stay above seasonal highs at 16 with a low of 6. Now, this time last year, we were only sitting at about 10 degrees, so although tomorrow may be a bit windy, if you want to get a head start on raking some of those leaves, now's the time to do so. That's it for weather. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Natasha. Now we turn to today's international news. Chilean President Sebastián Piñera has met the 33 rescued miners at the hospital where they are recovering. Speaking outside Copiapó Hospital, he promised that people in Chile will never be allowed to work in such inhumane conditions again. The president described the rescue of the men who were trapped underground for more than 2 months as a miracle. The rescue concluded last night when Luis Urzuza was the last miner to be brought to the surface. At least 2 of the men will be discharged from the hospital later today, while several others are receiving treatment for dental and eye problems.
Authorities in the U.S. have charged 73 people in what is thought to be the largest scam in the country's medical insurance system. Police say a large group of Armenian gangsters and their associates set up 118 fake clinics using stolen identities in order to make false claims for treatment. The accused allegedly stole the identities of real doctors and beneficiaries and filed claim after claim for procedures that never took place. Police say over $35 million was paid out.
Christmas time will be a little different this year at Buckingham Palace, as the Queen has canceled her holiday staff party. A palace spokesman said due to the tough economic climate, it was appropriate to show restraint. The party is held every other year and draws staff from 3 royal residences, as well as employees of the Queen's private estates. The gathering of 1,200 guests was scheduled for December 13th.
Guests attending Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani's housewarming party should have no trouble finding the place. The billion-dollar home has 3 helipads, holding 168 cars, and has a permanent staff of 600 people, making it the most valuable home on the planet. The only thing Ambani's friends have to worry about getting is lost, as the colossal home has 27 stories and features over 37,000 square feet of floor space.
A Nepalese teenager celebrating his 18th birthday today has been named the world's shortest man. The Guinness Book of Records say Kagundra Thapa Megar is 1 centimeter shorter than the previously recorded holder and measures just over 2 feet, 2 inches in height. Megar, who weighs just over 14 pounds, says he dreams of marrying and traveling the world in his wife's handbag.
Now to the wide world of sports, here's Maddie Jo Tilley.
I'm Maddie Jo Tilley, and here's what's making news in sports. The Hawks men's soccer team finished the season undefeated and clinched first place in the OCAA West Division. The Hawks came from 1 goal down to beat the Sheridan Bruins 2-1. The Bruins started strong, leading the game, but the Hawks caught up with a goal by Nick Miodrag, tying it up at the half. Humber's Mario Oristano drilled the ball between the Sheridan keeper's legs with a few minutes to go in the game. With the win, the Hawks get a first-round bye in the playoffs. The men's basketball team won against George Brown in an 81-51 blowout last night. Leading the way were rookies Mark Perrin with 16 points and Shea Ned with 10 off the bench. All 13 players had points on the night. Humber started slow in the first half but picked it up in the second half, outscoring the Huskies 14-13 in the third and took over in the fourth quarter, dominating the Huskies on the floor and on the score sheet, outscoring George Brown 23-12. The Hawks play again next Wednesday against Seneca Sting. Canada capped off the 2010 Commonwealth Games this afternoon, finishing 4th in the medal standings with 75 medals, 26 were gold. Canada received a clutch performance from diver Alexander Despati. He brought home 3 gold medals in the 1 meter, 3 meter, and 3 meter synchro events. The Games have been the subject of controversy over the poor condition of the athletes' village, the lack of transportation, and low attendance. but the organizers insist the games were a success. The Leafs are 3-0 for the first time since the 1999-2000 season, after beating the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-3. Last season, they didn't get their third win until their 15th game. Clark MacArthur sniped 2 goals for the Leafs. Francois Beauchemin and Colton Orr also scored. Sidney Crosby got his first goal of the season for the Pens, but it wasn't good enough to beat Toronto. The Pens are still winless at their new arena that opened last week. In other NHL action, the Anaheim Ducks came from behind to beat the Vancouver Canucks 4-3. The Ducks were led by captain Ryan Getzlaf. He had a goal and 3 assists on goals by Teemu Selanne, Bobby Ryan, and Corey Perry. That's all for sports. Now back to Jared and Rachel in the studio.
Thanks, Maddie Jo. When we come back, Mesa Lajami will have the latest in entertainment.
Coming up in entertainment, a Humber prop performs at the Canadian Comedy Awards, Lil Wayne writes from prison, and Jackass 3D hits theaters. All that and more after the break.